Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to do the written retell for second grade journeys lesson 5, and our story is called Teacher's Pets. Right now, I am outside on my patio, and if you hear things in the background like a siren or a car, that's because I'm outside taping this video. So let's get started. For this lesson, you will need a piece of paper and a pencil, because at the end of the lesson, you're going to challenge yourself and work your brain. I'm going to ask you to write a retell of the story using complete sentences. So our title is Retell of Teacher's Pets. We're going to use the colors green, yellow, and red, just like a stop sign, just like a traffic sign. And where you're going to start at the beginning of the story, or the start, you're going to write the characters are, and then finish the sentence. The setting is, and then what happened first. Then we're going to move to the middle of the story. We're going to slow down using yellow, and you're going to write what happened next, and then. And then finally, we're going to move to the end of the story, just like the end of the roller coaster, and talk about what happened in the end or the finish, and we're going to say last. If you notice by these words, I have the pictures of the important events, including the setting and the characters. So let's go over our learning target. I can write a retell of the story Teacher's Pets using complete sentences. Success criteria, that means how will you know you're successful at writing a retell? Well, here's our steps for success. I will, number 1, say, match, and write the characters and setting. Number 2, say, match, and write or just say and match the lesson or moral of the story, what the characters learned. Number 3, we're going to put the retelling pictures in the correct sequence or order, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 4, you're going to say, match, and write the sentences to each picture, saying what happened first, then, later, last. And then you're going to check your writing using my writing checklist. It will help you make sure you have all that you need. Again, Teacher's Pets is a reality story. It means it could really happen. So reality stories, here are our noticings. The story could happen. The places are real. The people can be real. Animals act like animals. You might learn facts, and it can be funny. So Teacher's Pets could happen. The place, the classroom, and the school are real. The people, like the teacher and the students, are real. The animals act like animals, and it is a funny story. So let's review characters. Every story has characters. Characters are the people, animals, or objects in a story. The setting is where the story takes place, and we know the setting of Teacher's Pets is the school. The sequence is the order things happen in a story, and you're going to write these sequence words: first, next, last, or just like in the roller coaster picture, there's a beginning of the story, a middle, and an end. So here we're going to review using the graphic organizer from our last lesson, Retell of Teacher's Pets. We're going to talk about the story a little bit before you write it. The first thing, the characters were, who were the characters in Teacher's Pets? Do you remember? Say it out loud. The characters were, well, the characters were Miss Fry, the students, the animals, and especially Mo. The setting, where did the story take place? The setting was Miss Fry's classroom. And I have an extra word there, sorry. The setting was Miss Fry's classroom. Now we're going to put the pictures in the correct sequence or order. First, next, or then, next, last. So let's review. What happened first? Remember, you're going to write this in our next slide. First, say it out loud. First, Miss Fry tells her class that Monday is sharing day. Winston asks, "May we share a pet?" Later, he brings his wonderful pet rooster. Now, you're not going to write all of that, but we're just reviewing the story before you write your retell. Later, all the students bring their pets to class. In fact, the pets stay there every day. The class is bursting with pets' happy noises. So think about what happened later. All the students bring their pets to class. In fact, the pets stay there every day. The class is bursting with pets' happy noises. All right, next. What happens next? Look closely at the picture. Next. Well, next, on the last day of school, the class had a party. When it was over, Miss Fry said, "Don't forget to take home your pets." Once they were gone, the classroom was quiet. And last, what happens last or at the end of the story? Miss Fry noticed a note from Roger, who asked her to keep Mo. Miss Fry took Mo home and placed him in her garden. Now Mo was happy. So in the end, the students learned that Miss Fry was she's a kind teacher. So now that we've reviewed the story, it's your turn to get your pencil and your paper because you're going to write the sentences using the sentence frames. So it's the end of the lesson, time to challenge yourself, work your brain muscles. You will need a piece of paper and a pencil. And here is your direction. Write a retell of the story using complete sentences. So here are our sentence frames. And I'm just going to remind you as you're writing, you're going to say each sentence out loud before you write it. And remember your writing checklist. When you write your sentences, make sure you use finger spaces. Make sure you use punctuation like period, exclamation mark, or question mark. Make sure you use uppercase letters at the beginning of a sentence. So put a capital letter for names and at the beginning of your sentence. And then sound out words you don't know, sound out unknown words, stretch out those sounds and write them. And then I want you to go back and reread each of your sentences. So I just wanted to show you this checklist before we actually write. Don't forget your finger spaces, punctuation, uppercase letters at the beginning of your sentence, sound out unknown words, and reread each of your sentences. And of course, before you even write, say each sentence out loud. All right, let's get back. We're going to write a retell. All right, Retell of Teachers' Pets. That's our title. You can write it or you don't have to. And remember our traffic light. Green means go, yellow means slow down, and red means stop. So our first sentence is going to talk about the beginning or start of the story. Here's your first sentence. The characters are. So if you need to, push pause and write this first sentence. The characters are, and then write their names. So push pause, write this sentence, and then when you're ready, push play. But I'm going to move ahead, but I trust that you will push pause and then push play when you're ready. All right, also, we're going to continue at the beginning of our story. The setting is, where did the story take place? So push pause and write the setting is and finish your thought. And when you're ready to join us, push play again. Then you're going to tell me what happened first in the story. What happened first? So write first and then finish your thought. Tell me what happened. All right. Once you're done with those 3 sentences, we'll move on to the middle of the story. And right now, if you hear a siren, it's because I am outside and I hear a siren in the background. All right, middle of the story. So look at the 2 pictures for the middle. So you're going to say, next. Tell me what's going on there. Next. Push pause, write next and finish your thought. And then. And then when you're done writing those 2 sentences, we'll move to the end of the story or finish our story. And you're going to write last and then finish and write what's in that picture. So if you need to, push pause. And in your retell, you're going to write the characters are, the setting is, first, next, then, and last. And when you're finished, make sure you check your work. Writing checklist, we're going to make sure you use finger spaces, punctuation, uppercase letters at the beginning of your sentence, of each of your sentences, sound out unknown words, and reread each of your sentences. And if you need to push pause to check all this, do so. All right, let's reflect on your learning target. If you've written your retell, remember our learning target was I can write a retell of the story Teacher's Pets using complete sentences. How do you think you did? Would you give yourself a 4? I could teach this lesson. I easily retold the story in writing using the sentence starters. I also used my writing checklist for all of my sentences. Or would you give yourself a 3? I retold the story in writing using the sentence starters. I also used my writing checklist for most of my sentences. Or 2, I retold some of the story in writing and used my writing checklist for some of my sentences. Or 1, I did not retell the story and did not use my writing checklist. So give yourself a reflection grade. If you want to, you can stop the lesson or you can check your retell with mine, and that's in the next slide. Write a retell of the story using complete sentences. Retell of Teacher's Pets. Remember our traffic signal, go, slow down, and stop, or beginning, middle, and end. The characters are Miss Fry, the students, and pets. The setting is Miss Fry's classroom. First, Miss Fry tells students that Monday is sharing day. Next, the students bring their pets to school. Then, on the last day of school, they take their pets home. Last, Roger gives Mo to Miss Fry. Mo lives in her garden. So this is just an example, and you can check your sentences with mine, but they don't have to be the same. Boys and girls, thanks for doing the written retell with me today. Have a great day.